Another death row production. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, the next heavyweight champion of the world. Everybody else for.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome on back. It's the Empire. I'm your host Risky. It is Tuesday, July 28th. Looking back at yesterday, it was a mediocre day. We do hit on our ladder play. Our solo bet came through for us. One of our 3-leg parlays got turned into a 2-leg parlay. That Reds Guardians game got ranked out. We do hit on that 2-leg parlay. Overall was a whatever day, but you guys already know the rules. It's on to the next one. We got a full slate of baseball here on tap today. Guys, Outlier Sportsbook, the link is down in the description. Sign up with them. The first week is free. Also at the end of the video, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. With all of that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, first game up, we got the Guardians in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. We got Slade Ciccone on the mount for the Guardians. We got Chase Burns on the mount for the Reds. Alright, getting into this one here. This will be the first game played in the doubleheader between these two teams. We got Slade Ciccone on the mount for the Guardians. Very mediocre pitcher. Since the All-Star break, he's been getting squashed. He's made 3 starts since the break. In those games, he has an ERA sitting at 7.50, whip sitting at 170, hard hit rate sitting at 50%. Looking at the matchup here today, for him though, he's going to be seeing a Cincinnati Reds lineup. In the last 2 weeks, they're batting .220 versus right-handed pitching, slugging .387. Another thing I like about this spot here today for Slade Ciccone, this Reds lineup, their strikeout numbers have been really going up. Slade Ciccone has decent strikeout stuff. I'm expecting him to have a quality start here today. Go about 6 innings, give up 2 runs before we get to this Guardians bullpen. They're a really good bullpen. Not to mention the extra day off yesterday is really going to help them here in this one. I see the arms coming out the pen for the Guardians coming in this game, shutting down these Reds bats. On the other side, we got Chase Burns on the mount for the Reds. This guy's been amazing this season. He has a .240 ERA, 110 whip, amazing strikeout numbers. The one thing I don't like about this spot here today for him, terrible splits versus lefties. He's really struggling this season versus left-handed bats. The slugging numbers is really what I'm paying attention to. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Cleveland Guardians lineup stacked with left-handed bats, 8 to 9 projected lefties in the lineup. Chase Burns is a 2-pitch pitcher. Throws the fastball over 50% of the time. It is a really good fastball, sitting at 9,900 miles per hour. Secondary pitch is the slider. There's a few Guardians in this lineup here today that match up well against Chase Burns. Not to mention it's going to be very hitter-friendly weather. I'm projecting Chase Burns to go about 6 innings himself, if not 7, where he gives up 3 runs before we get to this Reds bullpen that's going to come in. Probably give up another run or 2 themselves, but nothing too crazy. Looking at the weather here today, it's going to be about 85 degrees. We are going to have 10-mile-per-hour winds blowing from side to side, which usually favors the pitcher in this ballpark. Let's get to the picks. The Reds are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I do like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the Cleveland Guardians on the money line. The game total is set at 9. I do like the under 9 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Jose Ramirez for 2 total bases. Next game up, we got the Phillies in Miami taking on the Marlins. We got Aaron Nola on the mount for the Phillies. We got Sandy Alcantara on the mount for the Marlins. Alright, getting into this game here. As a matter of fact, the Phillies, I forgot to even say this, the Phillies and the Nationals, had these guys not blow these games yesterday, well, the Phillies blew the game for sure in the bottom of the 9th, but had they come through for us, we would have hit on one of our 3-leg parlays. But getting into this one here today, we got Aaron Nola on the mount for the Phillies. This guy has not been good this season, 5.82 ERA. In my opinion though, the numbers look a lot worse than he's actually been. He's had a bunch of blow-up starts. Every 4 or 5 starts, he'll have a blow-up start, giving up 5 runs or more. But in between that, he'll consistently go 6 innings, giving up 2 to 3 runs. That's not good by any means, but it's definitely not a 6 ERA, 140 whip. Hard hit rate's pretty low for all the overall numbers. You guys know we love the hard hit rate. He has a hard hit rate sitting at 35%. He does struggle with lefties. Here today, he's going to see a Marlins lineup with 7 projected lefties in the lineup. He did see this Marlins lineup in May, did pitch 6 shutout innings against them. Here today, I'm looking at the overall projection for him, looking at the velocity in his last few outings. I could see him coming out here today having a quality start, going about 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. Before we get to this Phillies bullpen that is taxed coming into it, I could see the arms coming out this Phillies bullpen, coming in this one, giving up another run or 2, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Sandy Alcantara on the mound. This guy's been good this season for Miami. He has a 4.01 ERA, 120 whip. He is a sinker ball pitcher, has a really good ground ball rate. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Phillies lineup. For one, this Phillies team always puts up a bunch of runs on Sandy when they see him. He is a sinker ball pitcher, pitches for a lot of contact. He struggles versus left-handed bats. He's going to be seeing the whole top half of this Phillies order loaded with lefties. We see Bryce Harper yesterday got the swing back. I'm expecting Kyle Schwarber. I don't think Schwarber hit a home run since the All-Star break. I could see him going yard here today. It's a very good matchup for him. My overall breakdown for Sandy, he goes about 5-6 innings where he gives up 3 to 4 runs before we get to this Marlins bullpen. They're a terrible bullpen. I see the arms coming out this bullpen coming in this game, giving up another 2 to 3 runs. This game is going to be out in Miami in the Dome, so no weather to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The odds makers got this game pretty much a pick'em spot. It's like a 30 cents difference as of right now, favoring the Phillies, and that's where I lean as well. I like the Phillies here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the over 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Kyle Schwarber with the Phillies to hit a home run today. Next game up, we got the Orioles in Detroit taking on the Tigers. We got Dean Kramer on the mound for the Orioles. We got Troy Melton on the mound for the Tigers. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Dean Kramer on the mound for the Orioles. This is another guy since the All-Star break. He's been absolutely terrible. He's made 3 starts since then. In those games, he has a 7.20 ERA, 160 whip, hard hit rate up to 47%. The strikeout numbers have really dropped. Also, in this game here today, first of all, he's going to be seeing a Tigers lineup that's going to be down Kerry Carpenter. He got injured once again. They're down one of their best bats. But when I do the overall matchup breakdown for Kramer, who throws the splitter and the fastball, the splitter can give this Tigers lineup a bit of problems. They have been struggling this season to hit the splitter, but he primarily throws the fastball, and that fastball sitting at 95, 96. There's a bunch of guys that can crush that speed, especially the lefties like McGonigal and Riley Green. I can see them having a good game here today. My overall breakdown for Kramer, it's going to be extremely hitter-friendly weather out there in Detroit. I can see him going about 4 or 5 innings, giving up 3 to 4 runs here today. Before we get to this Orioles bullpen, they're in a much better spot than the Tigers bullpen here today. I actually like them late in this one. I can see them coming in, still giving up another run or 2, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Troy Melton on the mound. This guy's been really good for Detroit this season. 195 ERA, 0.95 whip, has a really good strikeout to walk ratio. Lefties are batting 170 against him this season. Here today, he's going to be seeing an Orioles lineup. We faded the Tigers yesterday with Montero on the mound because of the matchup for Kaiser Montero. Here today for Troy Melton, it's the opposite story. I really like the spot for Melton. He throws a really good fastball. Like I said, has a really good strikeout to walk ratio. Has good splits versus lefties. I see him coming out here today having another good game where he goes 6 to 7 innings where he gives up a run, if not 2. Before we get to this Tigers bullpen, their tax coming into it. I can see the arms coming out this Tigers pen coming in this game, giving up another run or so. Looking at the weather, it's going to be 80-ish degrees, but we have close to 20-mile-per-hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield, making this an extremely hitter-friendly game. Let's get to the picks. The Tigers are the betting off favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I do like the over 9.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Riley Green of the Tigers to hit a home run today. Next game up, we got the Diamondbacks in Pittsburgh taking on the Pirates. We got Brandon Pfaadt on the mount for the D-backs. We got Bubba Chandler on the mount for the Pirates. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Brandon Pfaadt on the mount for the Diamondbacks. Since the All-Star break, this guy's looked really impressive for the D-backs. He's made 3 starts in those games. He has a 3.20 ERA, 125 whip. The hard hit rate's down to 33% now. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's going to be seeing a Pittsburgh Pirates lineup, still a top 5 team in the majors versus right-handed pitching. Not to mention, when I do the pitch mix breakdown for Brandon Pfaadt, his two primary pitches, the fastball and the sinker. This season, this Pirates lineup has been crushing sinker ballers. My overall expectation for Pfaadt, he has a decent game. He goes about 5-6 innings, gives up 3 runs. Before we get to this Diamondbacks bullpen, that's in a really good spot to come in here today, give up another run or two, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Bubba Chandler on the mound. This guy, he's been so inconsistent for the Pirates. He has a really good fastball. That's his primary pitch. Throws it over 50% of the time. Secondary pitch, the curve, does not have no control over it. He keeps walking a bunch of batters. The walk rate continues to climb once again. Looking at the matchup here today for Bubba, he could actually have a decent game if he could just keep the walk rate down. This Diamondbacks lineup, they are towards the top of the league. Well, not top 10, but they do strike out a lot. Bubba Chandler's at his best when he is working the Ks. Like I said, if he could just control the curve, working that sinker that he's been trying to work in every once in a while, I could see him coming out here having a decent game. I could see him also having a quality start, going about 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. Before we get to this Pirates bullpen, they're incredibly mediocre. They can always come in a game and give up a bunch of runs. Looking at the arms that's going to be available for them, I could project them having a decent, a good quality bullpen session, coming in this game, giving up a run or two, but once again, they're so damn inconsistent, it's really hard to gauge this Pirates bullpen. Looking at the weather, it's going to be a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. We do have wind blowing from side to side in this building that usually favors the hitter. Let's get to the picks. The Diamondbacks are the betting off favorites in this game here today, and I like the home dogs in this spot. Give me the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line. The game total set at 9. I do like the under 9 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Ryan O'Hearn of the Pirates for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Blue Jays in DC taking on the Nationals. We got Shane Bieber on the mound for the Jays. We got Cade Cavalli on the mound for the Nats. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Shane Bieber on the mound for the Blue Jays. He made his return from injury last month for the Jays. Started off looking extremely shaky, but since the All-Star break, he's made 2 starts. He looked really good in those 2 starts. One thing I gotta pay attention to about those 2 games, they were up in Toronto in the Dome. This season, all of the Blue Jays starting pitchers have very good splits at home and have been struggling on the road this year. Looking at the matchup here today for Shane Bieber, he's gonna see a top 5 offense in the majors versus right-handed pitching. The slugging numbers are still very high. Shane Bieber comes into this game with a hard hit rate sitting at 42%. Looking at the overall projection for him, for one, there's a few Nationals in this lineup that really match up well against them. The main guy I focused in on here today was CJ Abrams, but I could see James Wood taking him yard in this game as well. My overall breakdown for Bieber, he goes about 5 innings, if not 6. This Blue Jays bullpen's incredibly taxed. They're going to want Shane Bieber to at least go 6 innings, but I see him going about 5, giving up 3 to 4 runs before we get to this highly taxed Blue Jays bullpen. Remember, Scherzer didn't pitch too deep into that game yesterday. The bullpen really got used up. The Nationals are going to be able to see a few of the arms that were used in yesterday's game here today once again. I see the bullpen arms coming in this game, giving up another 2 to 3 runs. On the other side, we got Cade Cavalli on the mound for the Nationals. This guy's been really good this season. 358 ERA, 130 whip. Has a really good strikeout to walk ratio. Throws an impressive fastball and curveball combo. This season, like I said, the hard hit rate's the strikeout and walk ratio is really low. The hard hit rate is also really low. Today, he's going to be seeing a Blue Jays lineup stacked with right-handed bats. The right-handed pitcher, Cade Cavalli, has really good splits versus righties. There's only 2 lefties in this lineup. That's something that's going to really benefit Cade here today. Not to mention, this Blue Jays lineup offensively is a bottom 10 offense since the last 30 games played. Since the break, they're hitting .218 versus right-handed pitching. I see Cade Cavalli coming out here today dealing, going about 6-7 innings where he gives up a run, if not 2. Before we get to this Nationals bullpen, they'll probably come in and give up another run or so. Looking at the weather, this is going to be very important. The first 2 hours of this game is projected to have rain. Then about, I want to say 8 o'clock, they're going to say the rain's going to clear up and the game could be played then. But like I said earlier on, this game should be postponed. It's projected to start about 7 o'clock. I think it'll probably get played, but probably much later. If the game does get played, it's going to be extremely pitcher friendly. We're going to have a gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Nationals are the betting off favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking CJ Abrams for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Braves in New York taking on the Mets. We got Chris Sale on the mound for Atlanta. We got Christian Scott on the mound for the Mets. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Chris Sale on the mound for Atlanta. This guy's having a Cy Young caliber season. This guy comes into this game with a 2.19 ERA, 105 whip, really good strikeout to walk ratio. In this game here today for Sale, the first thing I'm paying attention to, there's still no Juan Soto in the lineup for the Mets. Chris Sale has a really good ground ball rate this season. He's throwing that fastball slider combination, has a really good whiff rate on it. He's going to be seeing a Mets lineup. The strikeout numbers have been going up for the Mets. They do hit lefties very well. They hit Martin Perez yesterday, but Chris Sale's on a whole different caliber. I could see Sale coming out here today having a quality start, going about 7 innings where he gives up 2 runs. Before we get to this Braves bullpen, a really good bullpen. They're rested coming into it. I like the arms for the Braves to come in this game, shut down these Mets bats. On the other side, we got Christian Scott on the mound for the Mets. This guy's been really impressive this year for the Mets. Came out of nowhere. He was like a bona fide opener, just going 3-4 innings to start, but he's been slowly getting stretched out, going into the 5th inning, 6th now we're seeing lately. In this game here today, I don't like the spot for Scott. He's primarily a fastball pitcher. He's going to be seeing a Braves lineup. They struggle offensively to hit lefties. That's the reason we were talking about that in yesterday's game, but all their best offensive games come off righties. They got Ronald Acuna back in the lineup. I'm projecting Scott to struggle in this game. Hard hit rate is sitting at 39% on the season. I can see him struggling a bit in this one. My overall projection has him going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. Before we get to this Mets bullpen, they're slightly taxed coming into it. I see the arms available for the Mets coming in this game, giving up another 2 to 3 runs. Looking at the weather here today, just like that Nationals game, projected to have rain for the first 2 to 3 hours. After that, it clears up. If this game does get played, it is going to be extremely hitter friendly. There's going to be 10 to 12 mile per hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Braves are the betting off favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 7.5. I do like the over 7.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Matt Olson of the Braves to hit a home run today. Next game up, we got the Royals in Minnesota taking on the Twins. We got Seth Lugo on the mound for the Royals. We got Taj Bradley on the mound for the Twins. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Seth Lugo on the mound for the Royals. This guy's been really inconsistent for Kansas City this season, but since the All-Star break, he's made 3 starts. He's looked decent in those games. He has a 3.20 ERA, 105 whip. He does still have a very high hard hit rate. It's still sitting up above 40%. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Twins lineup. He saw this Twins team a month ago in that game. Pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs. Here today for him, he's going to be seeing a Twins lineup that's still a top 10 offense versus right-handed pitching. Not to mention, like I talked about, the hard hit rate's very high. This Twins offense is a very good offensive team at home. It's going to be extremely hitter friendly out there in Minnesota. I'm projected Seth Lugo to get hit up in this one. Go about 5 innings, give up 3 runs. Before we get to Royals bullpen, terrible bullpen. They're taxed coming into it. I see the arms coming out the Royals bullpen, giving up another 2 to 3 runs here today. On the other side, we got Taj Bradley on the mound for the Twins. This guy's been really good this season for Minnesota. Has a 3.70 ERA, 120 whip. He's only had 1 bad start in the last month against the Cubs. Other than that, he's going 6 innings, giving up maybe 1 or 2 runs in all of the outings. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Royals lineup. He saw the Royals a month ago. In that game, he pitched 6 scoreless innings against them. That team had Bobby Witt in the lineup at the time. There's still no Bobby Witt in the lineup. In the last 10 games played versus right-handed pitching, this Royals team is batting .208, slugging .360. I'm projecting Taj Bradley, who has a really good strikeout rate, to come out here today and have a good game. This Royals team is a top 10 team in the majors when it comes to striking out. I'd see Taj Bradley going about 6-7 innings where he gives up a run. Before we get to a terrible Twins bullpen, the arm's going to come out of this Twins bullpen, come into this game, give up another bunch of runs. Both of the bullpens are terrible. Both of the bullpen arms are going to come and give up a bunch of runs. Looking at the weather, it's going to be very hitter friendly, 90 degrees, small gust of wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Twins are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I do like the over 9.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Byron Buxton of the Twins to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Yankees in Chicago taking on the White Sox. We got Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees. We got Anthony Kay on the mound for the White Sox. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees. This guy's been really inconsistent for the Yankees in the last month, giving up 2 or more runs in all of his starts. Here today, he's going to be seeing a White Sox lineup. Very good team versus right-handed pitching. But when I do the overall matchup breakdown for Garrett Cole, he does have really good strikeout numbers. He is going to be seeing a White Sox lineup that's towards the top of the league when it comes to striking out. Not to mention, this team has been a bit inconsistent versus right-handed pitching. In the last 2 weeks, when they've been seeing some higher-end righties, they've been struggling a bit. They squashed like mid-tier righties, but Garrett Cole is towards that mid-tier, higher-tier righty still, in my opinion. Like I said, he has really good strikeout numbers. I can see him coming out here today, having a good start, going about 6 innings, giving up 2 to 3 runs. Before we get to a Yankees bullpen that's in a really good spot to come in here today and shut the door on the White Sox bats. On the other side, we got Anthony Kay on the mound. This guy's been mediocre overall for the White Sox this season. He's been struggling with his command, walking a bunch of batters. He has a very high hard hit rate, sitting at 49% on the season. He's averaging 1.6 home runs this season on the year up to this point. That's towards the top of the league as well. Looking at the matchup breakdown for Anthony Kay here today, he's going to be seeing a Yankees lineup that's towards the bottom of the league when it comes to hitting left-handed pitching. Like I said, overall, Anthony Kay struggling with the command. It can still be a problem. Overall, the Yankees do draw a lot of walks. You got Paul Goldschmidt killing lefties this season. I'm projecting Anthony Kay to have a quality start. Go about 6 innings where he gives up 2 runs. Before we get to a White Sox bullpen, they're slightly taxed coming into it. I can see the arms coming out the White Sox bullpen coming in this game, giving up another 2 to 3 runs. Looking at the weather, it's going to be a bit more on the pitcher-friendly side. We got a small gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Yankees are the betting off favorites in this game here today. I think this game I have this game much closer than the books. I think this game should be a pick'em spot, to be honest with you. But the Yankees are the betting off favorites, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the under 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Paul Goldschmidt for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Red Sox in Sacramento taking on the Athletics. 2 left-handed starting pitchers in this game. We got Jake Bennett on the mound for the Red Sox. We got Gage Jump on the mound for the Athletics. Alright, getting into this game here, we got the young pitcher Jake Bennett on the mound for the Red Sox. He's been really good for the Red Sox up to this point. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he is a guy that doesn't walk a lot of batters. That's something that's going to benefit him in this game, but he has a very low strikeout rate, does not strike batters out. This is a guy that pitches for a lot of contact. He relies on a lot of pop fly outs. Here today, pitching in this small ballpark, I can see that being something that backfires on him. We saw Peyton Toley give up 2 runs yesterday. I can see him going about 5-6 innings, giving up 3 to 4 runs here today. Like I said, he's really reliant on a lot of contact outs. But this Athletics lineup, it's not a very scary lineup. I don't see him really getting hit up too bad. But overall, like I said, 5-6 innings, him giving up 3 to 4 runs. Before we get to a Red Sox bullpen that's in a really good spot, the arms are rested. I see the arms coming out the Red Sox bullpen, coming in this game, shutting down these Athletics bats. On the other side, we got Gage Jump on the mound for the Athletics. When they first brought him up, he was looking really sharp for like his first 3-4 starts. But since then, though, he's been struggling with his command. The walk rate has really gone up and the hard hit rate has really gone up. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Red Sox lineup in the last 30 games played. They're a top 10 offense versus left-handed pitching. You got a bunch of guys killing lefties in this lineup. Not to mention, when I look at the pitch mix breakdown for him, there's 2 guys that really match up well against him. That's Abreu and Contreras. I can see one of them taking him yard in this game, if not both of them. My overall breakdown for Gage Jump, he goes 5 innings, gives up 3 runs. Before we get to this Athletics bullpen, we saw them do what they usually do yesterday. In yesterday's game, they came in and blew it. They gave up 4 runs. I see the Athletics bullpen arms coming in this game, doing the same thing once again. The weather, well, Ballpark Pal has this game projected as the best offensive game on the schedule. Let's get to the picks. The Red Sox are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I do like the under 9.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Contreras of the Red Sox to hit a home run today. Next game up, we got the Rockies in San Diego taking on the Padres. We got Michael Lorenzen on the mound for the Rockies. We got Michael King on the mound for the Padres. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Michael Lorenzen on the mound for the Rockies. This guy's been terrible all year. He has a 6.50 ERA, but on the road this season, he's actually been better by his own standards, but decent overall. On the road this season, he has a 4.50 ERA. He's played some decent teams in those games as well on the road and had some quality starts. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's going to be seeing a San Diego Padres lineup. Since the All-Star break, this team's been red hot offensively. Guys like Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis, the bats have woken up for them. Looking at the matchup here today for Lorenzen, a sinker ball pitcher. Guy that relies on a lot of contact out, a lot of ground outs. His hard hit rate sitting at 42%. Looking at the matchup breakdown and lineup breakdown, I should say, there's a few guys that really match up well against them. I can see Michael Lorenzen having a decent outing though, going about 5-6 innings, giving up 3 runs. The Rockies bullpen is still the worst bullpen in the majors. They're rested coming into it though. They had the day off yesterday. I can see the arms coming in this game, maybe giving up another run, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Michael King on the mound for the Padres. This guy's been really good this season, especially in his home starts. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Rockies lineup. They've been hitting right-handed pitching very well this season, but on the road, the offensive numbers really drop on the road this season. Their numbers are really inflated because of their home starts versus righties. On the road this season, they're batting just .227 versus right-handed pitching. Michael King is a sinker ball pitcher, has a really high ground ball rate. He is also able to work the Ks. This Rockies lineup is towards the top of the league when it comes to striking out. I see Michael King coming out here today, having a really good game, going about 6 innings, giving up a run. Before we get to this Padres bullpen, very mediocre, but they're rested coming into it. They got all their best arms available. I see the arms coming out this Padres bullpen coming in this game, shutting down these Rockies bats. Looking at the weather, it's going to be a bit more on the pitcher friendly side. We have a small gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Padres are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Jackson Merrill of the Padres for 2 total bases today. Next game up, we got the Brewers in San Francisco taking on the Giants. We got Logan Henderson on the mound for the Brewers. We got Landon Rupp on the mound for the Giants. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Logan Henderson on the mound for the Brewers. This guy's been really good for Milwaukee up to this point. Has a 3.50 ERA, but the whip is sitting at 0.75. Has a really good strikeout to walk ratio. He is a strikeout pitcher. Has a really good strikeout rate overall. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's going to be seeing a Giants lineup. They continue to be very inconsistent versus right-handed pitching. They got to Brandon Sprout yesterday. Brandon Sprout is not on the caliber of Logan Henderson. In the last 2 weeks, this Giants lineup still batting just .218 versus righties. Not to mention their strikeout numbers continue to go up. Logan Henderson, like I said, is a strikeout pitcher. He's at his best when he's able to work the Ks. This guy's a guy, well, Milwaukee's been limiting him towards the start of the season. He's only been going about 4 innings, but recently they've been starting to let him go a bit deeper in the games, into the 5th, sometimes into the 6th inning. I'm projecting Logan Henderson to have a good game here today. Go about 5 innings, give up a run or 2 before we get to this Brewers bullpen. They're in a really good spot here to come in, give up another run, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Landon Rupp on the mound for the Giants. This is a good starting pitcher in my opinion. He's just very inconsistent. The one problem with him is his splits versus lefties. If he's seeing a lineup that only has like about 4 or 5 lefties, he could come out there and have a quality start. A lineup like the Brewers that's projected to have 7 lefties in the lineup, I could see Landon Rupp having another one of the games where he struggles. Like I said, that's been the big knock on him. He really doesn't struggle with his command, really doesn't have a hard hit rate that's high, has a decent strikeout, has a really good ground ball rate. It's the lefty splits. He really gets hit up by left-handed bats. I'm projecting Landon Rupp to get hit up in this game once again. Go about 5-6 innings where he gives up 3 to 4 runs. Before we get to this Giants bullpen, they're in a good spot here today. They were able to rest a lot of their arms, but still a bad bullpen overall. I can see the arms coming in, giving up another runner. So this game is out in San Francisco. It's going to be a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. We got a decent gust of wind, 8 miles per hour, blown from the diamonds to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Brewers are the betting odd favorites in this game, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the over 7.5 total runs here today. For the player prop, I'm taking Bryce Terang of the Brewers for 2 total bases. Alright, final game of the day, we got the Mariners in Los Angeles taking on the Dodgers. We got Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. We got Justin Warblowski on the mound for the Dodgers. Alright, getting into this game here, the first thing we gotta pay attention to, they have not officially confirmed Justin Warblowski as the starting pitcher for the Dodgers. Everywhere is showing that, like, all the projection books is projecting him to be the starting pitcher, but you guys already know this. They will pull the last minute okie doke on us, put some random guy on the mound, mess up everything. But here today, capping the game with Warblowski on the mound, first thing we gotta pay attention to is like Luis Castillo's on the mound for the Mariners. This guy's still not good. He's had some decent starts in the last month, but still ERA still up above 450, whip still up above 125, hard hit rate still high as hell. I'm projecting him to get hit up in this game. He has terrible splits versus lefties. The Dodgers' top half of this lineup is loaded with left-handed bats. They're back at home where they have much better offensive numbers this season. I see the Dodgers teeing off on Castillo here today. My overall breakdown has him going about 4 innings, giving up 4 runs. Before we get to Mariners bullpen, they're a decent bullpen, but just like the starting pitchers for this team, this bullpen plays much better at home. The ERA for the bullpen goes up in their road starts. I see the arms coming out the bullpen for Seattle coming in this game, giving up another runner or 2. If Warblowski's on the mound for the Dodgers, who's been really dominant this season, I see him having a good game. This Mariners lineup is a bottom 5 offense versus left-handed pitching. Not to mention Warblowski has a really good slider sinker combination he throws. This Mariners lineup has been swinging and missing a lot on the slider in the last month. I see Warblowski having a really good start here today, going about 7 innings, giving up a run, if not 7 shutout. Before we get to a Dodgers bullpen that's been playing really inconsistent in the last month, I see the arms coming out the Dodgers bullpen, giving up a run or so, but nothing too crazy. Looking at the weather, it's going to be a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. I really wouldn't say there's an advantage for the weather. It's going to really be a neutral. It's going to have a small gust of wind, 3 to 4 miles per hour, blown from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Dodgers are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 9.5. I like the over 9.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers for 2 total bases today. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. Yesterday our ladder play came through for us. The payout $18.72. So today we'll be wagering that $18.72 on the Washington Nationals on the money line. We're getting them at -130. This is our ladder play of the day. Next up, we have a 2-leg home run parlay we're playing here today. We're going to start it off with Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies. We're going to wrap it up with Riley Green of the Detroit Tigers, a $10 2-leg home run parlay. Next up, we have a 3-leg parlay we're playing here today, all money line picks. We're going to start it off with the Philadelphia Phillies on the money line. We're then going to play the Detroit Tigers on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Minnesota Twins on the money line. Our final play of the day will be another 3-leg parlay. We're going to start it off with the Atlanta Braves on the run line. We're then going to play the Milwaukee Brewers on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Los Angeles Dodgers on the run line. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, I just want to send my salutes out to you all. It's Tuesday. You guys know how we do it on Tuesday. Let's keep that trend going. You guys know I appreciate you all. I respect you all. Hope we all win some money here today, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.